Can you believe it's less than a month till the release of Mario Kart 8? We finally know all the tracks, and I'm super excited! Except Nintendo didn't include Wario Coliseum as a retro track in this game, but nevertheless, this game is still going to be great. So, I've decided to make a top 10 list on the tracks I'm most excited for. These are the tracks that I think will end up being the best in the game. I've decided to make a separate top 5 for the retro tracks, and for the Nitro tracks. I know, it's just 2 top 5 lists in one video, but 5 plus 5 equals 10, so it still counts. Anyway, I should probably start before I begin to ramble. Let's begin with the top 5 retro tracks. Number 5. DS Tick-Tock Clock. This track used to be really open and not very appealing on the eyes, but now they've given this track a major overhaul. Nintendo has really made you feel like you're inside of a clock. Everywhere looks so busy with moving gears on the floors and the walls. It now looks like you can drive over those pesky clock hands, and you won't come to an instant stop when you hit one of the pendulums. I didn't see any anti-gravity section, but they did add a hang gliding one. Overall, a major improvement. Number 4. GameCube Sherbet Land. Originally I thought they wouldn't be able to change much on this track, but I was wrong. The biggest change would be the addition of basically another half to this track. Now you have the ability to go into an underwater cave, something that was never seen in the original. You emerge back on the normal part of the track. Nintendo has changed the daytime setting to a lovely nighttime one. With beautiful northern lights, they've also made a new section of the track underground again near the end of the lap. I really enjoy the changes they've added to this track. Number 3. Nintendo 64 Toad's Turnpike. At first sight this track looks pretty much the same, but as you keep watching you notice many changes. The coolest ones in my opinion would be the trucks with the ramps attached to them, adding a hang gliding section every now and then. And when you do that you can even jump on the roofs of the other vehicles. But the biggest change would be the anti-gravity section on the side of the wall so you can avoid the vehicles. I'm really looking forward to playing this track in mirror mode. Number 2. N64 Yoshi Valley. Firstly, I'd like to say, this track actually looks like a valley. Instead of being a big open canyon, the track finally matches the name. Anyway, this track is going to be insane with all the alternate routes you can take. If I'm not mistaken, they've added a few more actually. There is no anti-gravity, but they did add a giant cannon, of which you can hang glide out of, which is amazing. Instead of it being big and open all the time, we now have a neat looking cave. And thank God they kept the giant spinning egg. With all the different paths to take, I'm definitely replaying this track a lot to find the best routes. Number 1. Nintendo 64 Rainbow Road. Was there any doubt? Look at this thing, it's amazing! It looks better than the new Rainbow Road. They added some risk to the track by removing most of the barriers on the sides. What's cool is now the lap is divided into 3 sections, with tons of anti-gravity and hang gliding in between. And hell, I'm adding bonus points to the track for the pointless flying train. I love playing this track on the N64. I'm sure I'll love it even more now. Now here comes the tricky part, the Nitro Cups. I've never played any of these tracks, so it's going to be tricky predicting which ones will be the best. But I'm just going to go by which ones look the most interesting and fun. Number 5. Bowser's Castle. Every Mario Kart has one of these tracks in the series, and they never disappoint. Same thing can be said by what I see on this track. It's always fun racing through these dark hallways that are flooded with lava and other hazards, such as the Bowser statue shooting lasers, and always the classic fireballs. What looks amazing for me is the giant rock Bowser, followed by plunging into a pit of lava. I'm sure with the anti-gravity mixed in, this track will be amazing. Number 4. Dolphin Shoals. I learned from Mario Kart 7 that I didn't really enjoy the underwater tracks, but this one has caught my interest. This track looks really amazing with the tropical setting. Not only that, but I'll finally be able to cross Swimming with Dolphins from my bucket list. But things take a quick turn as you go into an underwater cave. You come across many pipes and many underwater creatures, especially this big eel that you drive on top of. Visually, this track looks amazing, including that giant whirlpool at the end. Number 3. Cloud Top Cruise. This track seems to take you everywhere, starting off on a giant beanstalk onto some fluffy white clouds, which reminds me a lot of DS Airship Fortress. But the best looking part would have to be when you fly into the dark stormy clouds, avoiding the bolts of lightning. And it's reasons like this that I love Mario Kart so much. They take you racing to places where you never even think of racing. Also, I love the music in this track, especially when it starts playing the Gusty Garden theme from Super Mario Galaxy. Number 2. Shy Guy Falls. Starting on top of a cliff-like area, you race towards a giant waterfall. Going into anti-gravity, you'll actually race up the falls and jump off the face of cliffs. Mixed with all the amazing visuals in the background, I think this will end up being a lot of people's favorite track. Number 1. Mount Wario. For those of you who have seen my top 10 Mario Kart Double Dash tracks, then you know I love DK Mountain. And this track looks no different. You start off by jumping out of a helicopter onto a snowy mountain. There are no laps, just one giant race down. On the way you run through a giant ice cave, and then entering and even driving on the side of a dam. Then finally jumping into a beautiful wooded area towards a ski slope. This track mixes in DK Mountain and DK Summit, which both happen to be some of my favorite tracks from the Mario Kart series. All I can say is I'm really looking forward to playing all of these tracks. And that was my list of the top 10 tracks that I'm most excited for in Mario Kart 8. If you really enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. I'm always making something new. Thanks for watching.